This is Kuhn Cassius for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. All the talking's done, the weighing's done. Right behind you is the man standing in front of Anthony Joshua as well.
The man with all the belts. Do you know how many times Aj had to stand up here for 10 or 15 minutes after with all these governing bodies giving him new belts and super belts and emerald belts and rings, and now he just poodles off to the change room, go back to the hotel and get ready to fight. It was an intense head-to-head. They're ready. You know, they're ready. This is going to be a brilliant fight.
When you look at Usyk now, very relaxed, very confident, what do you see? Oh.
How are you?
You okay?
Yes.
You sure? Another one. Cost a lot of money, that ring. A lot of sanction fees. It's okay.
How are you feeling?
I'm Phil.
Thank you.
He's nervous.
You all right there, mate?
I'm all right, yeah. He's a bit awkward, isn't he? You know what I mean? But he's good. Listen, I think both guys pretty emotional in this fight, to be honest with you. I think Usyk's been emotional during the week, and obviously he's got a lot going on around his world. And AJ's quite emotional because he really wants to win. You saw that in the head-to-head. You don't really see a lot of head-to-heads like that from him, but he's just preparing himself for battle and for war.
How much pressure is he under? Because it seems from the outside that this fight, he's under immense pressure to do this week by any means necessary.
I did an interview yesterday with the BBC, and the presenter said to me, I mean, if AJ loses, surely he's finished. I mean, how many comebacks can one man have? And I was like, what? What are you talking about? But that's the pressure he's under. Like, people are writing him off. People are writing him off in the fight. People are writing him off if he loses, that's it for him. So the answer is loads of pressure. But I don't think he cares about those opinions. He's more bothered about putting the pressure on himself. He doesn't want to lose this fight. He's a winner. He loves to compete. And he lost last time, and he really doesn't want to lose again. So, you know, there's been a lot less focus this time around on the belts and, you know, just everything like that. It's just he's just focusing his mind on winning. And that's what sport's about. He's a competitor. He just wants to win.
Usually before any AJ fight, he's always getting fired questions about other fights. He's had it with Tyson Fury, but this time round...
Do you know what? It was the same during the Ruiz 2 fight, to be honest with you. When he boxed Andy Ruiz, we went to ESPN Fight Week. They didn't ask one question about Andy Ruiz. Every question was about the Deontay Wilder fight, right? And this is another feeling where no one's really talking. Of course, people are talking about the possibility of him fighting Fury if he wins, etc. But not really. Like, all the focus is on this fight, on his career, etc. And I like that. I think that's good for him. And he can focus his mind. That's all he's thinking about. He knows what comes with it. The belts, the Ring Magazine belt now on the line, you know, possibility to fight for the Undisputed Championship. But he's just focused on winning. That's it. And honestly, I know everyone talks about how good camp's been, and all of that exists, but he's in a really good place. Like, he's in a place to go and have a tear up tomorrow night. He really is. Like, to fight with ferocity, almost probably desperation if need be.
What was your reaction to them on the scale? So obviously there was speculation about him coming in heavier, etc. But what was your reaction to seeing, first of all, Usyk on the scales?
Well, he was 110, wasn't he? Which I think, was it 4 pound lighter than last time or something like that? I expected him to come in heavier. You know, there's been a lot of talk about it. I've got that wrong before. I expected him to come in heavier. AJ Perfect, bang on, was he 110? Something like that. So he's 10 kilos heavier than Usyk, which is 23 pounds. Right? It's not far off 2 stone. And I said to AJ, look, you're up there. You've got to take this guy to hell. Look at him. Don't get me wrong, he's a pound for pound number one. He's a tremendous fighter. But look at him. You've got to smash that body to pieces. And he will go for it tomorrow night. He will go for it tomorrow night. And because we're all close to him, you know, we've all been on this journey, it's going to be really nerve-wracking. And it's going to be very emotional before the fight, during the fight, after the fight, whatever way it goes. But that's what we live for. We don't live for going in and having an easy win where we know we're going to win. We live for the moments where when you win, it means so much. You're through the ropes, you're on, you know, and this would be the biggest of all time for him. So pumped, excited, nervous, but you will get him giving everything he can tomorrow night.
You've gone on record countless times to say you believe that AJ will knock out Oleksandr Usyk, and now all the talking, the weighing's done, you still have those Same
all
thoughts.
week. You know, I've always known how difficult this fight was. I've always believed. Listen, even before the first fight, I know how good Usyk is, but I know AJ can stop him if he boxes in the right way. If he boxes with that that ferocity, as we said. And I think I look at the two, and I know he can knock this guy out. I know. All he's got to do is hurt him, and once he hurts him, he's one of the best finishers in the sport. And listen, Usyk's a great fighter. He's fighting a pound for pound number one, but I know he can do it. And if he gets it right, if he lands those shots, he will take him out.
Eddie, Deontay Wilder's announced this week his return to the ring against Robert Helenius later in the year. Great for boxing.
Yeah, great to have him back in the division. I mean, you know, Robert Helenius is a good fighter. He's on a good run. Remember, Derek Chisora beat Robert Helenius, didn't get a decision. He's got beat by Dillian Whyte as well. He's had a couple of good wins since, Kanaki especially. And, you know, I actually think he might get beat against Helenius, in all honesty.
Really? Your honest thoughts?
I think it's quite a tough fight. It's a good fight, but I think he might get beat in that fight.
Okay. Whispers about Dillian Whyte. Have you heard anything?
What's the whispers? And I'll tell you.
Well, that he's being linked with a fight, not with yourself.
With Daniel Dubois? Yeah, I've not heard that, no. I mean, look, the fights that I've been proposing to Dillian Whyte, well done, mate. Good?
The next fight is going to be between you.
Yeah, that's easy fight for you. That's an easy fight for you. I heard that as well. I'd be surprised if that fight happens, but I've not been involved in those conversations.
Okay, just run me through, obviously, a big opportunity for Callum Smith.
Yeah, massive. I mean, look, obviously we've got Ramla Ali, the first female fight ever in Saudi Arabia. We've also got two brilliant final eliminators on the card. Callum Smith, really good fight with Baldalik, who's a very good light heavyweight as well. He's number one against number two with the WBC to get the mandatory position for Beterbiev. And also, a fight I cannot wait for is Zhang Jilei against Filip Hrgovic. Zhang Jilei weighed 126 kgs. Huge. Someone is going for a deep sleep tomorrow night in Jeddah. There is absolutely no way that fight doesn't end in knockout inside 6 rounds. No way. And it will be such an explosive fight and such an explosive knockout. I'm really looking forward to it. And the winner is the mandatory for Aj-Usyk winner. It's a big fight for the division.
But it might be longed out. We've seen how these mandatories
They're all going to be longed out. They're all going to be longed out because there might be undisputed, etc. But if you're mandatory, what a great spot to be in. And if you're mandatory on 35%, which the winner with the IBF is, really, really big fight for both guys.
Your thoughts on Dev Sani's comments about the pay-per-view buys?
I think it's clever what they're. I mean, you know, they're like, you only got to look at the comments. But I think now what they've done is they've said, Dev, just go out there and be a clown and like just wind people up. So obviously anyone with a brain knows that Parker Joyce does about 1/10 of the pay-per-views of Eubank Ben. But I think that it's quite smart what they're doing because obviously no one's like, it's a good fight for boxing, but no one is really interested in that fight from a casual level. So they're just using Dev to try, and I think it's quite smart. And he don't care. Like, he's getting called a clown, but he don't care.
Are you going on the 24th?
Of September,
Yes.
you'll hear early next week.
So there's a possibility still with Lee Wood.
There is a possibility, yeah.
And what have you got to announce coming up?
We've got our September card to announce. We've got our October card to announce. We've got. We just announced Mexico last night on September the 3rd. We have a US card to announce in October. We have 2 UK cards to announce in November. We have 1 American card to announce mid-November. We have American card to announce early December. We have an Australian card to announce for October. We have another Mexican show to announce. So I mean, obviously, a lot of the focus has been on this week, but the guys have been working hard behind the scenes to get ready for an announcement of those dates.
But while the World Cup's on in Qatar, UK, you're not going to go?
We will, but we'll always look at the scheduling, and of course, you don't want to clash with an England match. So we'll make sure that we schedule our schedule accordingly.
For people watching at home, tuning in worldwide on the Zone, obviously Sky Sports box office back in the UK. What's the message tomorrow night?
The message is get behind AJ. He's a tremendous young man. He's not even young anymore. Just a great guy. Great guy that's given everything to the sport. Always trying to compete. Always trying to win. And you know, I think he's just. I don't know how you can't support Anthony Joshua. In all honesty. Great guy, great fighter. He's fighting the pound for pound #1. He's trying to become a 3-time world heavyweight champion for Britain. Get behind your man.
Quickly, Maxi Hughes, sorry, when's that show getting announced?
That's part of the plans that we're going to be bringing you early next week.
We look forward to it. Eddie Hearn, and is that shirt by Dolce & Gabbana?
This shirt is by Zara, and it was £29.99.
I told everyone it was D&G.
That's all right. It's fucking the
No,
nuts.
no, no.
It's so light as well and comfortable. Big up,
Good,
Zara.
mate. Big up, Zara. Thank you, mate.
My dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more times.
5 blokes outside my front door. Can you come and help
One
me?
hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.